Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you how to use ActiveCampaign to automate your marketing. ActiveCampaign is a great way to follow up on your subscribers and leads and then turn them into customers. Their tool called Automations allows you to create automations such as increasing revenue, increase traffic, automating your sales team, and boost contact satisfaction. They have some pre-done recipes that you can select from. As you can see, targeted follow-up, engagement tagging, unsubscribed contacts, and many more. You can create one from scratch. So let's start and create one from scratch right here. And click on Create. Now let's say we want to follow up on subscribers after they've subscribed to our newsletter. The first thing and the first point is to make sure that you have subscribe as the first option, because that's what will trigger this automation. And then you select a list, make sure you've created a list already. And you want to make sure it runs based on the frequency that you want. And in this case, it's just once. And you can select advanced options such as segmenting. I'm going to click Add Start, and that's where the automation begins. If a lead subscribes to this list here, it'll then move down, and what will be triggered is whatever you set. So let's click on the plus icon, and you're given some options. You can send an email, send an SMS, or notify someone. You have some other actions such as conditions and workflow, contacts, and CRM. So it's quite advanced. Let's say I simply want to send an email. Let's click on that. And it's saying you don't have any emails to send, and you can create an email. So let's create an email first. And let's call this welcome. And now it's loading the template section so I can choose the email template that I want sent. Let's just create it from scratch. And I'm going to choose text only. And next you want to choose your email subject line. Welcome to the newsletter. And click on continue. And this is where I can type in the message that I want sent after someone subscribes. Once you've entered your email, you can click on next. And you can enable things like open and read tracking, link tracking, reply tracking, and add Google Analytics. You can also send a test email to see what it looks like. Once you're happy with that, click on finish. And now it's taken me back to the automation section in the campaign that I created. So after someone subscribes, they then sent this welcome message. Now, if I want to set a duration of when to send this email, I can click the plus icon, and let's click on conditions and select wait. And I can wait for a specified period of time or until specific conditions are met. So let's select for a specified time. I can say wait 1 day. And what will happen is after they subscribe, a day later, they'll receive this email. However, I want this out straight away. So in this case, I don't need this. But what you can do is drag and drop it to the next section and move single action right here. And since I have no contacts here, these options don't really matter. So now it's moved on to wait for 1 day. And if I want to send another message 1 day later, I can click on the plus icon and repeat the same steps. You can do a lot more advanced things, such as if someone clicks a link in your email, then you can tag them. So let's say they clicked a link in this email. You can then choose a plus sign and add a tag. So let's say interested in beginner course. So with this message that I'm putting the tag description as a demo, let's say this email has a message that says, are you interested in the beginner course? If you are, click here. So if they click that link, they're then added to this segment. So your automation campaign can be as complex as you want or as simple as you want. And that's how you use ActiveCampaign to automate your marketing. Hi, in this video, you're going to learn how to turn leads into customers. These are some principles that you should follow. Once you have the lead, you then need to convert that lead into a customer. After all, if you have leads but you're not making any sales, then there's no point generating any leads at the start. The first principle is to make sure you always follow up on your leads. You don't want to leave them in the dark. What you want to do is train them and educate them to learn about your brand, your product, and teach them to consume your product as well. In sales, people don't buy until the 7th or 8th exposure. This means the more exposed your customer is to your brand, the more likely they'll buy your product. So use email marketing services such as Aweber, GetResponse, Ontraport, and Infusionsoft to send those follow-up emails or messages. And by doing so, you're building trust. People buy from people, not companies. And you build trust by offering a lot of value to your leads. This doesn't mean you should give everything away, and it doesn't mean that you should give too little away. Offer value in many forms such as video, audio, blog posts, articles, and emails. The only thing that separates you is you, okay? You are authentic, you are unique, and that's what's going to make you different from your competition. It's important in this day and age to be unique. You need a unique selling proposition. What makes you different to the rest? All these factors and principles play a role in turning your leads into customers. More importantly, your goal should be to always help your customers get results. When you can help your customers get results, that's when the magic happens. They'll tell their friends, their followers, and their audience about your product and your brand. If you implement all these factors into your marketing, you'll turn more leads into customers. Social media lead generation. This video will share why you should be where your audience is hanging out. The first important point is that you don't need to go on every social media platform out there. When entrepreneurs and businesses go online, they feel like they need a YouTube account, a Pinterest account, an Instagram account, a Twitter account, a Google Plus account, a Facebook page, a LinkedIn profile, and so much more. In actual fact, you don't need all of it. What's important to note is that you should be where your audience is at. And what do I mean by being where your audience is at? Taking Snapchat as an example, if your product is targeted to seniors, then you wouldn't hang out in Snapchat. You wouldn't post your content on Snapchat because statistics show Snapchat users are between 13 and 34 years of age, and 7 out of 10 are millennials. So does this really make sense to post your content about seniors and retirement on Snapchat? Well, it doesn't make sense. So you would focus on platforms where seniors and retirees are on most. It's a very common mistake that startups make, and they get overwhelmed, which then stops them from moving forward in their business because they feel like they have to implement every single social media platform into their marketing. The bottom line is you should focus on 1 or 2 platforms rather than spreading your focus too thin. The most successful entrepreneurs and business owners know to focus on just a few. For example, Gary Vaynerchuk focuses a lot around video content. So what he does is he uses Snapchat and he uses YouTube and Facebook video to post his content because that's where his audience is at. And that's another thing. If video doesn't feel natural to you, then you wouldn't record and publish videos. However, if you like writing, then perhaps blogging in an article form is more suited to you. So again, focus on 1 or 2 platforms rather than spreading your focus too thin, and be where your audience is at. Hi, in this video, I'm going to show you a simple lead generation sales funnel example. So the first step and introduction to your brand and product usually starts with your content. It could be a blog, could be a YouTube video, could be a Pinterest infographic, could be a Twitter tweet, whatever it may be. That's the first initiation. So in this case, in this example, a potential prospect reads your blog, and they opt in. They opt in to receive your free report, to receive your newsletter, or whatever it may be. Once they're on your email database, perhaps you can invite them to join a webinar, a free webinar, to educate them about a certain topic. And what you can do is have the subscriber enter a follow-up sequence, a sequence of messages that goes out on a pre-scheduled time frame. For instance, you could have a message going out as soon as they opt in to your newsletter. On day 2, they receive another message, day 3, another one, and so on. Next, your customer could buy a low-priced product of yours, and this will introduce them and qualify them as a paying customer. Once they're qualified as a paying customer, you could offer them a higher ticket product. This could range anywhere from $500 all the way up to $20,000, $30,000. The end of your funnel could be a one-on-one coaching. Getting leads is one side of the equation, but then converting them into paying customers and then converting them then to higher ticket products is another thing. When you're starting out, you probably won't have all these elements in your sales funnel just yet, but start by capturing those leads first, because once you have the lead in your database, you can always follow up on your leads.